Spinning. Does it work in a sword fight? Oh, shit. That hit the face.
It hit, but he lost his face.
I jumped and spun.
Actually caught my hand on that one.
Okay.
I missed the parry. It was me being stupid though.
I can't see. No. It doesn't work. So the problem with spinning, as you can see, is that I am completely blind. As soon as I turn around, I don't know what's my opponent's doing, and I'm tracking as fast as I can, trying to get my head back around.
I know exactly what he's going to do.
But yeah, he knows what I'm going to do. Like, I can try and change directions, maybe. The problem is, this takes a long time. And in that time span, I cannot parry, I cannot see my opponent, I am totally at the mercy of whatever he's going to do. So many times he hit me in the back. There's this whole notion of, spinning to get more power. It's not giving me more power. I have rotational power this way, kind of, sort of, but I would be better served using the leverage action of this blade.
Or just a pivot.
Yeah, pivot. Moving sideways is fine.
Even just a turn of the hips can
The
help.
problem is this. Let's say, first off, if I start off an attack and I go straight into this, I'm just open.
Right.
Go ahead, do what you do if I did this. That's all he needs.
Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of what I was doing, just in the interest of, I don't know if that would stop you from spinning. Maybe I'll parry and then hit.
Yeah, so he was doing a lot of I'll parry this and then go. And the other thing is, as I spin, my orientation is like, I have to refine this. And the human brain is not instantaneous, right? It takes a second for you to reorient here, to reorient to what's going on. You are blind. I know where it is. I've been thwarted. There's a second of computing going on, and that's all he needs in order to get me.
And even if it did give you a tiny bit of extra power, which I don't actually think it would,
but yeah.
Even if it did, you don't need it if you're just doing unarmored fighting.
We talked about this in a previous video, but when we fence like this with this on, this is simulating unarmored fighting. If we were fighting in armor, I could hit him all day long and it wouldn't matter.
I would let you.
Yeah, he'd let me because armor is designed to do that. Full steel armor. Chainmail would hurt because it's gonna.
Oh yeah,
but it's still like a chainmail that would not go through chainmail.
Would not cut.
I would not
hurt
cut.
My collarbone.
You could pierce through chainmail probably, depending on the mail.
It would take some work.
Yeah, but like unarmored combat, there's no need to add that extra force in.
The only real danger from taking a blow from a sword in armor is if it's a very beefy sword and it's coming very hard and it hits you in the head.
Yeah, it can dent in.
It might, well, not even just dent your armor. It might ring your bell a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they did stuff like Morchlog and all of these things, because the whole idea, the sword is heaviest here and it's blunt, so I can smash in the helmet. That's the idea behind those kind of techniques.
Right.
But back to spinning, there was a couple times I tried to take care of his sword first, so he came in and I would block and then come around. The issue with that is,
if you hit it, it doesn't get rid of it for long.
The whole point of a beat like that is it's long enough for me to do that. Long enough, it's a split-second opening. It's not creating too much time.
And if I'm paying attention.
Exactly. But let's say he did. Let's say I got this beat. I got this, now I'm turning. I've lost my split-second timing.
I was even holding it really.
Yeah, he was holding it still. Let's say I make parry. Go ahead and cut my forward.
Cut what?
Yeah, cut my forward.
Okay.
Let's say I make parry and try and come around. He can just switch. It's not helping me to turn. It's slowing me down. It's just not. It's not useful. There's no situation where turning your back on your opponent with a longsword, a one-on-one fight,
in order to deliver an attack.
In order to deliver an attack. There's a one reason I turn my back on an opponent. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, to just not fight.
Yeah, just not fight. It's just run away. Yeah,
if
I'm turning my back, it's to run.
Right.
Which is a valid strategy.
If you find yourself in a bind,
yes, there is that. Yes, you can do stuff like that. Yeah. So there are situations where you will spin,
if
we get into a core like this and we can't get out of it. Sometimes we will like get like that. I'll run past.
You didn't even spin.
I didn't. I usually don't. Sometimes I'll spin like this to keep my eyes on my opponent. Every once in a while, you'll get into the situation, you might do something like that, but the whole idea is to get back to seeing them. It's
That's
not
like a half turn.
Yeah, it's not to deliver a super crazy blow. So, and those are in such close distances that, interestingly enough, we have more time because this isn't going to cut us. This can hurt, but like I'm not worried about this. Not really. I'm worried about this. And that's, in order to deliver this cut, I've got to be out of distance, or I'm not out of distance, at a longer distance.
In the properties.
So all of this stuff, all that, super easy to block, loses the timing that I need from any kind of parry or anything else like that. There's one possible situation for a multi-person fight to spin. The possible situation for you to use a spin. And instead of a multi-person fight, let's say I'm fighting Matt, and Wade was ready for me with a sword.
Sorry. Come on, bad guy. What do you want?
We're professionals. So let's say I'm fighting Matt, blah, 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 and I do something where he parries. I see him coming behind me. You know, I might have to get out of the way and do something. And that's not necessarily so much a technique as it is an oh crap moment, right? It is, there is someone. If I was actually fighting the two of these, I would try and get them stacked. So yeah, they'd be trying to get to either side of me. My goal, let me just accomplish my goal. My goal would be to get them lined up so that I only have to deal with one of them at a time. If I found myself in a situation where I was between the two of them, I'm going to do whatever I can to get out of between the two of them.
Just roll.
Yeah, I just roll. Don't roll. But let's say I did. Like, I had the parry finicky and I saw that Wade was coming in. I might have to do some sort of spin. I might have to do something. But in that case, it is not so much a technique as it is a do what you have to do and get out. And I'm not going to be doing stuff like this. Right?
Maybe with a montante.
Yeah, with a montante sword. But that's also like an extra 2 feet long.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be spinning it like this.
It's scary.
And it's scary. So with a montante sword, which we did not bring inside.
Or a spadone. Imagine a sword this big.
Yeah, with a Zweihänder, a montante, a claymore, there are moves you can do, crowd clearing moves, where you spin the sword like this, and some of those do have spins.
Which means I might feel like, sure, maybe I can get in a snap, but that's coming.
It's this giant sword,
Yeah.
and so it's coming here, and then it's coming here, and then it's coming here. With that sword,
And you might have armor.
with me armored with that sword, there are some techniques that do execute a spin, but it is more to keep the momentum of the blade going as a threat, not necessarily as I am attacking you with this giant spin.
To look around you too.
Yes, to look around you, keep going. And again, I unless I was in armor with the montante sword, I would not be comfortable turning my back on an opponent and spinning. Even with one, it's not a great spot to be in. So let's go ahead and take a look at some more fencing with spins to see if it works.
Do you want me to try spinning?
Yeah, you can try spinning.
I'll try it. It still hurt me.
Okay, spinning. Find a spot where it makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
I didn't really even have to do much because
This
we're
is
just
slow.
off by so much. Not your fault, but.
Yeah, hand.
You all right?
That's fine. Ready? Here we go. Yeah.
I pull a little bit when it's your back because
Yeah.
I don't want to do like a full.
The back of this is unpadded.
Well, and your back has your spine.
Yeah.
Just.
Not only took off your
Hey,
Your
remove
blunt.
my sword. That's what it's good for.
That's what it's good for. It's good for taking out blunts.
I was wondering what that sound was. All I heard was the sound.
I heard it. There we go. Let's do another couple and then we'll go to some good fencing. Ready?
You want me to do some spinning?
Yeah, you can do some spinning. Ready?
Okay. Oh my god, I can't even get myself to
Okay,
do
do it.
it.
It's hard. That hurt?
No, it just feels ridiculous.
It's so dumb. It's hard to do. Let me try and bury it first. Take off your blunt again. I saw where it was coming so easily. I was just like, I'm gonna take this one. And I saw him go back, sure, fine. Because I have so much. I could have hit him in the back. Yeah, you know what I actually really wanted to do? Then again, in slow motion.
Well, I think I tried to change directions.
Yeah. What I really wanted to do is like kick you in the back. All right, here we go. Let's do a couple more.
Like kick the person away?
Yeah, no, kick you and then stab you. Let's do another one. Ready? Are you spinning?
I'll spin.
Okay, ready? You're not spinning. I saw it coming, so I hit him in the head. He did hit my hand, but he wouldn't have been able to
see
do
my
it
face, but while I'm spinning, my face is like, oh!
He did hit me in the arm, but there was a huge delay between my hitting him in the head and hitting him in the arm.
So you hit me in the head as I was coming.
Yeah, you would have just been done.
I probably would have flinched a bit, like, or passed out or something. I don't know.
You wouldn't have been standing after that.
Yeah, or it might have come through and just kind of laid.
Let's go ahead and do some real long sword fencing.
Okay.
Yeah, ready? Thanks.
So double spins?
Double spins.
That's the thing, you just have to keep spinning.
You gotta keep spinning. That was a crossguard.
I know, that happens a lot because of these big tips.
Better than not.
A little bit of contact here.
Enough?
But yeah, not enough.
Yeah, you got my face. Did I get you though?
You got me after I thrust your face.
Okay.
Right here. Oh, good one.
I've been working on that one.
That's good, it came right around my guard. How do you do that?
So I came in this one knowing you block it,
Okay.
and as soon as I felt the impact, I switched to that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I missed!
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a good one.
My thumb kind of hit the flat of your blade as I
Okay.
was coming in. Good one.
Thank you.
I was trying to. For a second there, I was trying to one-hand it, and then I was like, oh god.
Did you let it out?
Yeah.
Cool.
It would have pierced my hand for sure. Good one.
I didn't make that last one, but it was a head hit, so I think you wouldn't continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really slow today for some reason.
It's been a long day.
Yeah. Not for me. Yeah.
That was a fun one. If you notice as we do this, we never turn our back.
No, why would I?
We
wanna be
are
good.
doing some circular footwork, not as much just because of the space and
Yeah.
the camera, but like we never ever.
Circular footwork isn't like a magic bullet either. It's
No.
just sort of a bonus. I know you don't think it is, but sometimes I've seen people who are just getting into this talk about sport fencing and, well, you can't circle in sport fencing. It's like, well, that's true.
Well, you don't need to.
You don't necessarily need to do it. It can be useful in some things, but
It's an option. It's not a requirement.
you're not going to start doing this and
Yeah.
someone's going to go,
Oh no! A traverse.
I don't know how to turn my head. Let's finish on something more interesting than that. Sorry.
Maybe a little bit on my hand.
How many more?
One more.
One more? One more.
All right.
Thought I had my hands in.
So, a little brief after talk. As you saw, we tried to do spins. We did them. Both of us did them.
It's terrifying.
It goes against every instinct you have developed as a fighter, a fencer, any martial art, honestly. I know there are some martial arts that do spin kicks out there, but you'll notice, like, if you're looking at MMA and stuff like that, where there's other people competing and it's like full contact.
Where the stakes are, you get hurt.
There's not a lot of people who pull there. And of course, people in comments are going to say, oh, well, so-and-so did a spin kick. How many times do people pull off spin kicks in these things? It is a rare number of times. Yes, we talk about this all the time. Stuff works in combat sometimes.
Well, and also, if you're going for a spin kick against someone you feel isn't that much of a threat, which is probably why you're doing it, if they punch you while you're doing a spin kick in your side or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
it's not this.
You know what, that's true. So, and that's another thing, like, and we're not gonna profess to be MMA experts here. It's just the comparison that always gets drawn to swords. It's not a good comparison.
No.
Because you can eat hits in unarmed combat. Even a kick to the head is not necessarily going to stop the fight. But any hit with this, almost any hit with this, is going to stop the fight. We talk sometimes about how adrenaline keeps you going, if it's something like the leg or whatever. That might be true, but that again is an exception, not the rule.
But the question is, if you get run through in the leg, you might be able to finish the fight and kill the person. But now you have
a permanent
puncture
injury.
Wound the entire way through your leg with a dirty
The consequences of sword fighting are so much greater than those of unarmed fighting. Because I mean, that's what the tool is designed for. It is a more efficient tool to kill and hurt someone.
It's a giant knife.
So we cannot take risks that other martial arts that are non-lethal can. And again, like we tried to spin, and it's just, you're open, your back is open, you can't see, you can't parry. The other person can fully see what you're doing, and they can take their time. Now they can relax.
And they're thinking...
Yeah, they're thinking, first off, they're laughing at you. Second off, they're thinking, oh, it's a spin, I know where the blade is coming. It's so easy to block a spinning attack.
There might also be people thinking that you can perfect something like this.
Always
maybe you could. But even if you perfected a spin attack, it would never be as reliable as just a straight up
it isn't.
facing the person and fighting.
We've talked about this with reverse grip, we've talked about this with jump attacks, we've talked about this with the Hollywood dodge. There is a possibility you could pull something off with this. It might work. It probably has at one point worked, but for the majority of cases, it doesn't work, right? And it's not worth your time to train an inferior technique that is a niche that might work in one situation or one very hyper-specific, thing.
And I would argue that applies to real fighting, not that anyone does it.
No.
But even if you're a human person who's doing tournaments, I wouldn't train something like that.
I wouldn't train weird one-off moves when you could be training a move that you know you're going to perform 100 times. Just be efficient in your training, right? It's not saying don't, again, I will throw a spin move into a choreographed fight because it looks cool. And I can justify it with martial logic, but that's because I'm in charge of the fight. I get to say what the other person does. So I can say, you are going to attack the head, I'm going to slip underneath it and do a spinning slash because you know what the other guy's going to do. In real fighting, you don't. So
in games it looks really
cool.
It
looks great. And
I love the Witcher thing in Witcher 3 where he does the crazy
it's fun. And it's one of those things where it's like, we're not saying this is bad. We're saying it's bad in real fencing. It's impractical and bad in real fencing. So spinning attacks. Don't do them.
Yeah, please.
And remember, if you like our stuff, please follow us. I'm sorry. What are we gonna do? The like button?
We're gonna more
slog the like button and subscribe. And if you like our stuff, please consider supporting us on Patreon or on YouTube memberships.
Yes. Thank you.
Cool. Let's do the vertical version.